Welcome everyone. Good morning to Saturday Yoga. We have about 4 minutes. I started the countdown timer a little bit early. You can start to settle into your space. Beautiful thing about yoga is you don't really need a lot. You don't even need a mat, really. Practicing on a mat actually makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes if you don't have a mat and you're on the floor or carpeting, your hands will slide, and that's actually a more difficult workout. We're going to be starting down on our knees, so if you want a thick mat, something comfortable, something to think about. Typically, you practice yoga without shoes, comfortable clothing. You'll be in a space that's comfortable for you. I'm going to have my mat lengthwise. You can be straight ahead as well, whatever's comfortable for you. So start to settle in. Like I said, we're going to start in down on our mat in child's pose eventually. So start to settle in. If you do want extra credit, if you will, you can find child's pose right now. So child's pose, basically from your knees, you bring your forehead down to your mat and let your tailbone come back towards your heels. A couple other things. You can have support. You can have a chair, a block, things like that. My personal philosophy is that you have everything you need. And part of the yoga practice is to explore where you're at, where those points of resistance might lie, and what your balance is side to side and so forth. So it's whatever makes you comfortable. The yoga is supposed to be a safe place, a safe practice, and give you safe feelings. We've got another minute to go here. Like I said, for those just joining us, we're going to start down on the mat. If you need a little extra padding for your knees or anything like that, I'm going to find that now. Eventually we will stand. Another thing about today's practice, we're going to be doing quite a few back bends, half bows, if you will. We're going to be doing them in a safe manner, very methodical in our approach. I just want to encourage everybody to be extremely careful and focused as we go through these particular poses. They're a great benefit for the body, but if we push too hard, they can be a little difficult. All right. Well, let's get started. Once again, let me reintroduce myself. I'm David. Welcome, Saturday morning yoga. We're going to start today in Balasana, child's pose. So from your knees, it's kind of personal preference how wide you have your knees. I like mine wide. You can have them closer together. From here, bring your forehead down to the mat and let your tailbone melt back towards your heels. You'll see this pose, child's pose, done in an extended manner with hands stretched out long over the head. This is actually Utthita Balasana, extended child's pose. If you want your hands back by your head to give you some support, that's fine. You can have them back by your heels or along your sides. You can have your hands outstretched. But just settle in here and orient, not only with your space around you, but maybe more importantly, you, your mind, your body, and your spirit. And you bring your focus, your attention inward.
explore your entire body. In yoga, you breathe in and out your nose with your lips sealed and your teeth separated. Keeping your teeth separated opens the airway, relieves stress. It's good for your teeth. Dentist will tell you that your teeth should only touch when you're eating. Keeping your lips sealed as you breathe more deeply in and out your nose. Sanskrit, it's called pranayama. Here in Balasana, you should be able to hear your breathing. Make it audible, give it some texture. Make it rhythmic, oceanic, if you will, in and out. This deeper oceanic breathing is called an Ujjayi Pranayama, an energizing breath. The philosophy is that your rhythmic breathing energizes your body, and bandhas lock that energy in. Bandhas begin with Uddiyana Bandha, your belly button and abdominal muscles. Pull them in tight. There's a complementary bandha, Mula Bandha. Pull up your pelvic floor, gauge your glute muscles. And you feel your root lock. You feel your core engage. And I challenge you to keep your core locked during this entire practice. As you breathe rhythmically, Ujjayi Pranayama, in and out your nose with bandhas locked, you're practicing yoga.
From here, work your way up through a tabletop to a kneeling plank, so your hands are under shoulders, feet are down, you're straight from the top of your head, right to your knees. Re-explore the core. Make sure those bandhas are locked. Feel it give you strength and integrity in this kneeling plank. Begin to move, begin to flow. Exhale. As you come back into a shallow child's pose. Inhale as you come forward to a kneeling plank. This movement with breath. It's a style of yoga called vinyasa. Classically, you synchronize with your breathing. So you inhale as you come forward. Exhale as you come back. We don't all breathe at the same pace. So instead of synchronizing with me, synchronize with your breath. Have the confidence to move independent. It's the right pace for you. It's important to know this pace, the pace of your breathing. Make this your practice. It's the most beneficial way to operate. From this kneeling plank, if you want to add on, you can exhale, bend your elbows, hover, inhale as you push back up, exhale to child's pose. As you lower down, keep your elbows close, feel those triceps above the elbows, engage. Hidden secret of yoga, we use the muscles in both directions. Contraction and flexion. It's the healthiest way to use the muscles. Appreciate the benefit you're giving them right now. Do one more, each direction. And reset in a tabletop. So your hands are under your shoulders, knees are under hips. Your back is in a neutral position. We're going to go through a classic cow-cat sequence. We can begin with the cow. Bring your gaze forward, tip your tailbone up, and put a sway in your back. Just hold and breathe. This is actually a variation of upward-facing dog, or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Sometimes upward-facing dog, a little hard on the shoulders, and this is always a nice variation to take. Counter pose, angry cat. Push your vertebrae, your spine up into your shirt as you tuck your chin. There's actually another bandha, Jalandhara. You tuck your chin, look back at your belly button, engage Mula and Uddiyana at the same time. All three are called the Mahabandha. The mother bond, you feel great integrity in this pose as you energize with Ujjayi Pranayama. There's a classic flow between the two. You inhale as you bring your gaze forward and tip your tailbone up. Exhale as you arch your back in an angry cat. It's said that a healthy spine moves fluidly in both directions. Imagine your spine articulating one vertebrae at a time in both directions. Synchronize with your Ujjayi Pranayama. Concentrate on moving with bandhas locked, your core engaged. It's a little counterintuitive. I think when you lock your core, you're fixed. But you can feel how you can move and flow with your core engaged. One more in each direction. We'll reset in tabletop. Here's where you'll feel your core really coming into play. From here, extend your right arm straight out over your head, and then counterbalance by extending your left leg straight back, bent at the ankle, like you're standing on the wall behind you. Your hips are square over your mat or the floor. Concentrate on breathing as smoothly and rhythmically as you can in and out your nose. With your bandhas locked. Uddiyana bandha, pull in the belly button. Mula bandha, engage those glute muscles. Body is stronger than your mind. Concentrate. And exhale as you reset in tabletop. Explore the other side. Extend your left hand out, counterbalance the right leg. Straight back, bent at the heel like you're standing on the wall behind you. Hips are level over the mat. Feel how energizing your breath is and how those bandhas lock it in. Exhale, reset to tabletop. Begin to flow side to side. You inhale as you reach. Exhale as you reset. Inhale as you go to the other side. Be diligent in the movement. Synchronize with your breathing. Move with your core engaged. The more you practice moving with your core engaged, the more natural it becomes, and you take it with you. Not only do you get a good core workout 24 hours a day, but it also protects you and helps you. If you reach for something heavy, your core is there and naturally engages. Take a little slip, step off a curb. There's your core, ready to help you. Feel how strong your body is. It's an amazing machine, giving yourself a great benefit. These movements are simple yet effective, not only for the body, but the mind and the spirit. One more to each side. Reset. Tabletop. We're going to do our first half bow, back bend. Extend your right leg straight back. Point the toes and then bend at the knee so those toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Keep your hands planted under your shoulders. This is a lot of work for the back right here. Tip your gaze forward and you feel that back bend, your back engaged. This is a lot. If you want to go a little further, you can reach back with this left hand and find your right foot. Allow this right or left shoulder to open. You put pressure into your left hand with your right foot. This is the string on the bow. It's a half bow. If it's too much, just release. Keep those toes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, reset in tabletop. Explore the other side. Extend the left leg back, pointing those left toes, and then bend at the knee. Pointing the left toes up at the ceiling, the tiger's tail. Bring your gaze forward. You put that back bend in place. And then if you want to go deeper, you can reach back with the right hand. Find the left foot. Once again, if it's too much, back off. Allow this right shoulder to open. Put a little pressure into the right hand. Make sure your core is fully engaged here. As you release, come back into a very shallow child's pose. Just give your back a little counter pose. See how it feels. Even though that's just prep work, still a lot. And you're preparing to be careful as you go through some of these other half bows. All right, come on up to the middle of your mat, facing forward. Knees are about hip distance apart. From here, extend your right leg straight out. Left hand is down on the mat. Inhale your right hand high. Gaze is lifted. You can put this right hand on your right hip if you'd like as well. But make sure you're flat because you want to do these leg lifts straight up and down. So on an inhale, lift your right leg, exhale, touch the ground. You can move with your breath. If at any time this becomes too much, you can take a little break, leave the foot down. And when you're ready, just inhale as you lift, exhale as you lower. This move right here is super beneficial for the hip. In a typical day, we don't move laterally like this. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. Not only is it healthy for the hip, it's good for the lower back, the entire body, really. Even brain-body integration. Your hip is benefiting from strength, flexibility, and endurance. Appreciate the gift you're giving your body right now. Do one more here. Next time that right foot is down, keep it down, bring the arm down, push your way up, and start bringing your right ear down towards your right leg as you reach this right hand for your right foot. Then inhale, left hand high, gaze follows so it's lifted. And you feel that resistance build in along the left side. Push into it. That's the elongation of the muscles, that flexion. You think of building muscle as like weightlifting, contracting the muscles. But this extension is just as important. So have that thought as you reach and extend and energize with Ujjayi Pranayama, that these muscles will look wonderful because you're using them in their full extension. All right. Bring your left hand down. Plant it on the mat. From here, you can either find a leg lift with a side plank, or if you'd like to find a little more advanced variation, you keep your right foot planted, slide your left leg straighten out in front of you and reach back with this right hand. It's called a fallen star. It's a beautiful pose. If it's too much, just kickstand that left knee, and then you can raise the right leg. Otherwise, hold here and breathe. All right. Leg comes back, hands come down. Reset that kneeling posture. Explore the other side. Extend the left leg straight out. Right hand down on the mat. Left hand reaches for the sky. Gauge those bandhas. And on an inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, touch the mat. Inhale and exhale. One movement, one breath. Moving with your breath is too much. Just take a little break with the leg down. And when you're ready, lift lower on an exhale. Do one more on this side. You plant that left foot as you push all the way up. Bringing this left ear down towards the left leg. Reach this left hand for the left foot, and then inhale, right hand high, gaze is lifted towards the sky. Build in that resistance along the right side. Hold and breathe as you extend all those muscles in flexion. Appreciate using all those muscles in such a healthy way. Continue to keep your breathing rhythmic in and out your nose, Ujjayi Pranayama. From here, reset, and then bring this right hand down to the mat. You can do a side plank with the leg lifted, or keep that left foot down and extend the right leg straight out in front of you, reaching this left hand back, pushing your hips high in this fallen star. It's a beautiful pose. Be expansive. Breathe. Feel your core helping you to maintain integrity in the pose. Draw the knee in, hand or the leg in, hand down. Reset in a kneeling position in the middle of your mat. From here, we're going to go through Ustrasana. camel pose. We're going to do half camels today. Half bows, kneeling half bows. There's a variation here. Typically, classically, your feet remain flat. You can tuck your toes and bring your heels up a little bit more. Your heels are a target, not necessarily a goal. It's just an alignment. So don't feel like you need to reach your heels in any way. Begin by inhaling this right hand high. And on an exhale, you target this left hand towards the left heel. Your hips remain square to the front. This left shoulder can open. You can do it with heels up or with the feet flat, whatever's right for you. You feel how important those bandhas are. Pull up your pelvic floor. That Mula Bandha is very important. And exhale as hands come down. You reset. Explore the other side. You inhale the left hand high. Gaze is lifted. Exhale as your right hand targets your right heel. Doesn't have to get there. You can open this right shoulder wide. Just make sure these bandhas are locked tight, keeping the hips square to the front. Breathe as rhythmically as you can in and out your nose. And on an exhale, reset. Begin to flow side to side. You inhale as you reach. Exhale as you come out. Go to the other side. Inhale and exhale. One movement, one breath. Classic vinyasa. Moving at the pace of your breathing, with your core engaged, giving you stability, fluidity, integrity. One more to each side. As you come out, find a very shallow child's pose. Check in with your back again. Make sure you're operating within your limits. It's good to push, but only push what's right for you. It's not a competition. It's not a perfect pose. It's really finding those points of resistance and operating there. It's the most beneficial place for you, the edge, if you will. From here, come forward. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Feet hip distance apart, straight behind you in a full plank. Some variations are obviously to drop to your knees, flatten your feet so you're straight from the top of your head to your knees. Another variation is come down to your elbows in a dolphin plank. Whatever variation you choose, we're going to be here for 1 minute. Plank has been deemed one of the most beneficial exercises for the entire human body. All your muscles are engaged, leg muscles, core, back, shoulders, arms, even your neck is holding your head in an aligned position. Concentrate on breathing rhythmically in and out your nose. You're already 30 seconds in. Concentrate on being straight from the top of your head to your heels. If that's too much, drop to your knees. Find your elbows. 15 more seconds. You got this, athletes. Appreciate the benefit you're giving your entire body. 1 minute. All right, from here, this is the perfect spacing for downward facing dog. So push your hips high, let your heels melt, chest drops between your shoulders. You can pedal heels if you want. You'll notice that your head is below your heart. Another benefit of yoga, it's good for the cardiovascular system. In a typical day, your head isn't below your heart. And your cardiovascular system's working in a way it's not used to right now. Give it some love. Breathe deeply, Ujjayi Pranayama. You can actually tuck your chin, find that Jalandhara, the Mahabandha with Mula, Uddiyana, and Jalandhara, all engaged. All breathing, Ujjayi Pranayama. From here, walk your hands back to your feet into a forward fold. Let your head hang completely. Appreciate the benefit you're giving your cardiovascular system right now. Just letting gravity pull your head down towards the ground. Roll up one vertebrae at a time. When you get to the top, you can sweep your hands high on an inhale, hands to heart center, and appreciate all of the work you just did down on your mat. We're not going to stand for too long. We're going to do a standing half bow. I'll turn to the side a little bit. You'll hear people call this a dancer pose. From here, it starts simple enough. Just bend your right leg, capture your right foot with your right hand. You feel the right shoulder open, but the hips are to remain square to the front. Bring your knees together, have them touch in this quad stretch. Commit to having your hips square to the front this entire sequence. From here, if you want to find a deeper handhold, you can go around your toes, grab your instep like a hitchhiker thumb. Keep those knees together. If you want to go even further, you can extend your left hand, put pressure into your right hand with your right foot so it lifts straight behind you. The hips are still square to the front. Concentrate on breathing rhythmically. Your right arm is the string on the bow. Put as much tension to your arm as you can by putting pressure in your right hand. It's a beautiful pose. Reach, feel expansive, feel powerful and elegant. Fall out of the pose, get right back in. Resilience is a skill we practice here in the yoga studio. You can take it with you. To come out, bring your knees together, release and exhale and step to Tadasana, mountain pose. Lovely. Explore the other side. Mountain pose. Bend left leg, capture the left foot with your left hand. Let the left shoulder open, but keep the hips square. And keep this grip. You can bring your hand around the top of your toes. Grab your instep, the hitchhiker thumb. From here, extend this right arm for counterbalance. And push the left foot into your left hand. And you feel that string on the bow that your left arm makes as it lifts straight behind you. Hips are still square. The tendency is to open the hips. You lose integrity, a little bit of balance. Feel that dynamic tension giving you stability as you hold and breathe as rhythmically as you can. In and out your nose. Come out, bring your knees together to touch. And on exhale, release into mountain pose. Very nice. All right, from the bottom of your mat this time, inhale your arms high and exhale into that forward fold. Without coming up, inhale with a flat back. Your gaze is forward in a half lift. Exhale back to that forward fold and walk your hands all the way out to a full plank. But this time, just lower yourself all the way down to your stomach in a prone position. From here, we're going to prep our back a little bit for a prone half bow from our stomach. We're going to do that. Have your hands loosely out in front of you. Your head is up. Bring your legs together, heels together, feet together. Engage all the muscles in your legs. Find those bandhas. Pull up the belly button. Uddiyana bandha. Clench your glute muscles. Mula bandha to the point where your legs lift up off the mat. Feel all the integrity in your lower body. That's your core. Your legs are part of it. And now your core, if you'd like, will help you lift your hands, bring your gaze a little higher in this locust pose. Keep working the leg muscles. Then exhale and just turn your head to the side. Take a little break. All right. Reset. Head up, hands loosely in front of you. Legs are separated. Like we did before, bend the right leg with the right toes pointed up towards the ceiling. Reach this right hand back towards your right foot. It might get there, it might not, but you feel your back engaged here. If you want to go further, you can find your ankle. It's a little bit more. Breathe smoothly and rhythmically. If you'd like to go even further, you can begin to push that right ankle into your right hand. And the thigh lifts up off the mat. You feel that string on the bow, that tension in your right arm. Let that right shoulder open. The hip obviously stays square. It's one of the things I like about this pose. Some people pursue the full bow pose, but I think it's hard on the back, and a lot of times we open our knees and lose integrity. From here, gently bring the thigh down, release, and reset. Hands and legs extended. Explore the other side. Bend the left leg, left toes are pointed up towards the ceiling. Sure, the bandhas are engaged as you reach back with this left hand. Maybe you find that left ankle. Open the left shoulder. Put pressure into the left hand as that left thigh lifts up off the mat. Make sure it's within your limit, your edge, if you will. Breathe rhythmically, deeply, oceanically, softening in the pose. Very gently, thigh down, release. Push back into a very shallow child's pose. This time bringing knees out wide. Big toes together. Arms extended. This can also be done from child's pose, more traditionally. As you come forward, roll on the inside of your kneecaps. Your feet are together as they come up behind you. And you bring your gaze forward with a sway in your back. Extended arms. On an exhale, roll right inside your kneecaps. Back towards child's pose. Then inhale as your feet come up with your gaze. You feel your spine moving in both directions. Feel it articulate, one vertebrae at a time. Don't be aggressive. Just a way to imprint the healthy movement of the spine after we did half bows, a couple kneeling positions, standing in a prone position. One more here. Just take a few breaths in Balasana, child's pose. We're going to finish with legs up the wall. You can also take the more traditional Shavasana, where you lay back, legs, extended arms gently at your side. Or, and come with me, Viparita Karani, legs up the wall. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a wall. If you have a chair, you can bend your legs over the chair, an ottoman, whatever you might have to support your legs. You bring your tailbone close to the wall. Legs straight up, shoulder blades flat on the floor, head down. Allow your breathing to return to normal and natural, autonomic, if you will. Let gravity pull you into the earth. Your focus here is simply observing your body breathing on its own. Let it. The brain likes to send thoughts, and we like to engage them. Let them go. You do that by bringing your focus back to appreciating your body, breathing on its own, sustaining us, energizing our entire body, providing that valuable oxygen. Once you're set, resist the urge to move and remain perfectly still. Just let gravity work its magic. Begin to awaken and bring your awareness to the room. Draw your knees into your chest and hold. Classically, you roll through the right side of a fetal position. Keeps your heart on the left side lifted, signifies the rebirth of your practice. Eventually, you can meet together in a seated posture, or you're in your own space. You can stay in final pose for as long as you'd like, practicing the final state of meditation. This entire yoga practice is a form of meditation. It's a journey deep within yourself. Incorporates the limbs of yoga, including pranayama, the breath, asanas, the movement. Final pose imprints the practice. If you happen to drift away and come back, the eighth and final limb of yoga, samadhi. And as you emerge, you've given yourself a gift. You've reset your mind, your body, and your spirit. You're happier, more content than when you began, and you get to take that with you and enjoy it the rest of the day. Bring your hands to heart center. The light in me honors the light in you, my friends. Namaste. Nicely done. Enjoy your day. Hope to see you next Saturday. My name is David. Thank you very much.